These are the grounds that the Wright brothers, they lived on, they breathed on, they got frustrated on, and then they celebrated success. They worked hard, and this is the place where the first plane lifted off, fully powered. And then that was achieved by the local students that live right here, where the Wright brothers flew for the very first time. It changed humanity. This changed the lives of the students that are here in some way.
The students that participate in it get to be a part of something. Being able to work with other people is so important for life in general, and learning more about yourself, you definitely get to improve yourself a lot, and I think that's so important.
The experience was amazing, and if I could do it again, I'd do it 1,000,000 times. It lit a fire in me that I didn't even know was really there.
Yeah. Well done!
Watching the students develop their leadership and teamwork and focus and discipline over a 2-year period has been amazing. And I've had student parents come up to me and talk to me about the change they've seen in their kids from being as part of the program. And there's nothing more enriching or more appreciated than when you hear someone says that.
You guys are gonna start with Jen.
I grew up in Northeastern North Carolina. Spent 33 fantastic years in the Navy, flying almost every one of them. Served all over the world. We retired out of Singapore and came home. One afternoon, my daughter comes home and she says, "Hey Dad, I think they're starting an aviation program at the school. You should check it out."
I heard talk about an aviation program. I wasn't really sure what it was. I originally thought it was model airplanes or something, which I also thought was really cool. But turns out they're building an airplane. A week later, I got notice that I was in the class, and I was super excited.
I had a few upperclassmen friends that were in the program already, like Michael Woodard. He told me about the program, and considering that we both work on cars, he was like, "Oh, this would be perfect for you." So signed up for it, and here I am today.
Originally, I really wanted to be a car mechanic, but they said we're doing an aviation program that we started this year. Would you like to do that? And I was like, yeah, I want to do that. So I was first on the list for my junior year.
Tango Flight has a program to deliver kit planes and the academic foundation that goes along with it to high schools. In this case, a Vans aircraft kit plane, the RV-12IS.
I think the inventory process will be much...
That first year, we were all kind of thrown into this together. I'd been an instructor in the Navy my whole life, but this was my first time in a high school setting. So the first day was, I would say, eye-opening to me.
Grab that piece then.
We didn't know what to expect when the parts came in, how big they were going to be, how many parts. All we had was, the parts and a sheet. It was a sheet of numbers, no descriptions of parts or anything. They're calling out part numbers and you're checking them off on the paper, but they'll get the number wrong and you'll be like, oh wait, there's multiple pieces in this part. And it was quite a headache.
You see those pieces over there on the table?
We learned a lot of things. We tried stuff and we failed. And we adjusted fire and tried it a different way, and we failed a second and third iteration until we finally got to where things were working and running well.
The Wright brothers were students as much as the first flight students were students. They were curious people. And over time, their curiosity turned into learning. And from there, they would just keep trying. This is exactly what our students do. They try, and now they're given this opportunity to see what works, what doesn't work, what's missing. Do we have all the parts? Do we have all the pieces? Do we have all the tools?
When you begin building the aircraft, you begin from the tail, from the empennage forward. So first year and a half was all about building the horizontal stabilizer, the vertical stabilizer, the rudders, the tail cone up into the cockpit and the wings, big structural airframe related things.
Being in a traditional high school, you don't really get to work hands-on or to really be applicable with your work, whereas here you're actually doing something and seeing where your work goes into.
This time I actually got to get out of the classroom and actually got to go and do something, and I got to see the fruits of my labor.
I've always loved doing hands-on stuff.
Everything is built from scratch, so to speak. Now, it's a kit plane, so some of the holes are pre-punched and some of the parts are pre-formed, but you still have to prep them to get everything ready to go.
I thought that it would be a lot of us not actually doing anything, and the mentors being like, no, let me do that, move over. But I got to do a lot of stuff. I felt like I really got to grow as a person. I expanded my skills, I learned new skills. I thought that it would be like holding the flashlight, but I definitely was the one with the screwdriver in my hand.
The important part of learning hands-on is that long-term memory, that long-term learning on how we continue to grow from that learning experience, how we learn from those mistakes and know that we can have failures and then persevere.
Reading through instructions, they get very complicated very quickly. And sometimes you miss some information that may be vital, and then you realize it after, and then you have to redo everything.
It would use the part names and numbers, and they would be very similar. They don't look that visually different. You have to hold them in your hand and really look at them. But if you use the wrong one, it's not gonna fit. And eventually you figured it out. I mean, there's only so many times that you can do it wrong before you get it right.
Nice, look at that.
If there's one thing I know that everyone who's been in this class over the last 3 years has developed an appreciation of and also an aptitude for, it is for problem solving, because they have faced hundreds upon hundreds of problems and they have sorted through them, they have been resilient, and they've gotten it done.
River's been putting backwards.
We just kind of took a step back every time something challenging came up, really reflected on what was going on, and then went back to the problem, kind of easily going into it and making sure that everything is done right in the way that it's supposed to before we finish it.
Confused on how many holes they're asking us to drill.
They always tell us, whenever you're unsure about something, or even if you are sure about something, always get a second opinion. If your classmate messes up, you gotta be patient with them, because when you mess up, which will happen, you also want them to be patient with you.
We spent like a majority of our in-class sessions learning about the Wright brothers and what they did. An appreciation for what they were able to do and able to accomplish, and it kind of just puts it into perspective. They had tons of failures whenever they were doing it, and kind of messing up in this class, you just gotta put your head down and just keep working at it.
We had all of the same obstacles that many of us have: sickness, loss, death, frustration, failure, and then embarrassment over and over again. But failure to them was not going to stop them. Despite every time they made a mistake, every time that they would break something, crash, that gave them the opportunity to learn from that mistake.
It definitely inspired us to keep pushing forward, to keep moving. We mess something up, it's okay, it happens. You just gotta keep moving forward past it.
So next time, think about what you learned this time and it'll be better.
The problem-solving part of the kit playing process was even more substantial than I thought going into it. And that's where having these very experienced and knowledgeable mentors really came into play. A retired contractor, a corporate pilot, some remote control flyers, a 46-year IBM engineer who volunteer their time to help lead and mentor these young people as part of the aviation program.
On both sides?
On both sides.
They came in and dedicated their time for literally nothing other than helping us. And it's been great knowing that we have people like that down here.
I love that they've always got a sense of humor. They all know what they're doing, and if they don't know what they're doing, they're on the same level as you, and they're as willing to figure it out as you are.
So you can't roll it that way, so you need to get it from there.
I would almost say there wasn't a single day in the lab that we didn't discuss something to make sure we were all reading a set of instructions correctly, or we were using the right tool, or we were moving out in the right direction. And we had a mentor who was here at the beginning of the program who passed away during the course of this last year, Tony Bruno. And Tony had, I think, a profound impact on the class. He was here every day, and he spoke about his career as a naval aviator. He spoke about his career as an airline pilot, airline safety pilot, and he had a wealth of aviation knowledge. And even as Tony got sick and was fighting as hard as he could against cancer, Tony still came to the lab right until the very end. I think Tony's impact of inspiration and determination is one that they'll always remember.
It's definitely a big change going from like a junior, like learning about everything, and then being a senior and having to step into the old seniors' footsteps, but it was a fun one. Being able to teach kids how to use the tools properly and showing them how to work through stuff, it's just a great experience.
Drill a hole and drill a hole for
I've had a cadre of students who have always been in here 1 year, who have helped to take the lead, and that's been tremendous to watch the leadership as they've gone forward. Then as we moved on to really the last year and a half, it became much more precise, if you will. If we moved from some airframe construction to avionics, navigation equipment, and of course, engine installation, the landing gear installation, propeller balancing, all those things.
It was kind of like we're 90% there, and then you still have 90% to go, because everything past that is all super technical. It was just a lot of precision work.
I did most of the wiring. I really enjoyed doing wiring because it felt like I was really in my element. It felt really freeing, and I felt like I was making a lot of progress. Every time that I did a wire, I plugged it in or something worked.
The avionics took 6 months alone, which took all summer going into the first semester of this year.
Their spirits really never wavered. These kids worked hard. Over the summer, on holidays, on weekends, they came in on their own to build, and it was fantastic to watch.
Me and Jorge have been coming here, and I think we've touched a bit of quite literally everything on the plane.
It was very important to me to get the plane done. It just felt like such a big part of my life. You know, I had to be there for all the moments, big or small. Honestly, can't remember everything I worked on because it's been like a lot. I've never been super focused on one thing.
I hear it.
Where?
Right here.
Everything that we do, we try to see through the lens of the Wright brothers. We think about the faith and determination that they carried with them throughout the whole process. As they got to where they were going, all the mistakes they made and what they learned, the resilience that they showed to get to the 17th of December that morning at 1903, we lean into that hard because frankly, we've had a lot of days when we've needed some resilience here as things have gone sideways here in the lab.
There have definitely been some setbacks that jeopardized the timing of the plane.
I would say there was a fault on both ends. We had parts come in and they were missing pieces. And of course, you have human error. Somebody would drill something in the wrong spot, drill it too big, cut something wrong.
When you wait 4 months for a radiator, that has an impact because it's not just the installation of the radiator, but it's the cowling and all associated pieces with that that now have to stop work as well. So there were some things we waited for supply chain wise, and there were a lot of lessons learned.
Yeah, because we don't have the initial, very ambitious goal was 2 years.
I thought it'd take 2.5 years. It took a little bit longer than that. Although most of that last half year was just like testing and whatnot, so we got it done in 3.
Honestly, I'm glad it took as long as it did. We got a lot more involved in it than I originally thought I ever would. I came back last year after I graduated and still put in some time working on the plane.
The Wright brothers' perseverance earned them the respect of the locals that were here, and that is not something you can just be given, is respect.
And thanking all of you for everything you've done. The community has been an essential piece of the process the whole way through. All the parents of all the students who've been in this class. The teachers at First Flight and Dare County School, but that's not all the story. We have local businesses down here who have gone out of their way to help us find parts or to make something for the aircraft, and the support you get when you're out and about. People asking you about the airplane and that sort of thing. It's just been amazing to see.
People from all over the community have helped. We've had donations, we've had people come in, check it out. Everyone here on the beach is just so involved in what's going on. And honestly, I've never seen the community be this joined together on a project before, and just knowing that they're here supporting us is fantastic. The avionics, for me at least, was the most challenging, but from what I understand, Finn and Sam easily spent about the same amount of time as I did on the avionics on front cowling. So I would say those two were probably the hardest out of the entire build.
We installed the engine and we were working on the cowling.
It's the fiberglass engine cover. It connects to the propeller.
And that's the most like fine detail thing that you need to get done on the plane, because you would put it on and make sure it fits right, and then you have to trim it down, and then you have to put it on again, and it changes a little bit, and then you gotta trim it down again. And I think that took us probably 2 months of every single minute of this class.
So we're looking for point 3.
Trimming and prepping the cowlings to go on the aircraft to fit the way they were took hundreds upon hundreds of hours, to the extent that my 2 students who worked on it the most, Finn and Sam, I would joke with them that I thought they were gonna take the cowling with them to college this fall. But eventually we got it done.
I didn't think that it would get there. I doubted in myself, and I think I doubted in everybody else too, because I'd never really met these people before. But then getting to work with them, and the longer that it went on, I went, okay, we've got this. We're talented, skilled people. We're very persevering.
There you go. All right, push it.
You really, really, really have to trust your classmates.
Yeah, right here.
I had absolutely nothing to do with electrical. I don't think I did anything with that, but I still flew in that plane, trusting that my classmates got all that stuff right, because they trusted me and Finn that we got the cowling right. So, I mean, just a lot of trust going both ways.
With the help of each other, they worked as a team. And the Wright brothers worked as a team. They mentored each other. And the students together, along with their mentors and teachers, were able to achieve that.
The first time I saw it fully complete was at the Wright Brothers when we had our giant celebration.
It was amazing. The 17th December, we did the combination Wright Brothers commemoration and the unveiling of the aircraft. We had all the generations of classes there, and they got to see not just their parents, but all their friends and neighbors who came out.
Putting my hands on to this plane that we built, and knowing that we are the first plane since the Wright brothers, which is insane to think nobody has built a plane professionally down here since, I feel like they become more real, and I feel much more inspired, which I think was what the goal was when they were originally teaching us, but it really hit it home.
Every day we walk here to the lab, rain or shine, and you see the Wright Brothers Memorial.
I always look at the monument. It just kind of reminds me the legacy that was left here and how we're picking up on it. And to know that we are the ones who are continuing it is kind of weird, but it's also very cool at the same time.
We got our airworthiness certification on the 25th of March, so we have our first flight here. And we're walking over and I'm like, hey, look, you know, we had the big reveal back in December. I'm not sure how many folks we're gonna have here for the first flight today. And we turn the corner into First Flight Airfield, and there are hundreds of people there that morning as well. So that was phenomenal.
Seeing it on the runway, that was crazy. I was like, I can't believe all these people are here to see this. I can't believe that I helped build that and that it works.
Seeing that plane take off for the first time was incredible. To see it boot on and work properly was so rewarding.
There was a lot of people, and I was very happy that we were able to have that impact on the community. The actual flying itself, well, it was kind of surreal. I don't think I was all the way there, but it was amazing. I mean, the view is incredible, and it doesn't feel real. I was very confident in the plane. I was so sure nothing bad was gonna happen because I trust everyone in the team.
Oh my gosh, it was so beautiful up there. It was great taking off for the first time, and then seeing the Outer Banks from above was just amazing. Went down to Oregon Inlet. I did a turnaround point at the lighthouse down there, and being up in the air, you just kind of get this feeling of tranquility.
Everything just felt small but like vast at the exact same time. You could pick apart any part of the island and just get like a detailed view with how clear it was. It was awesome.
Flight is freedom and a new vantage point. There were colors in the ocean I had never seen before. You could see every sandbar, every channel. It was crazy.
It was beautiful, but it's really different when you see it yourself. Like, I knew that the Outer Banks looked like that, but I didn't know it looked like that. You don't see like the glitter or the deepness or feel the density of the air in your lungs when you're looking at a photo.
Once I got up, it was the coolest thing ever because I've lived here most of my life, and to just see it from up there was just such a cool experience.
When it's all done, you're like, yeah, it really wasn't about the destination, you know? It was about like everything we did to get here, all the people we met along the way. And bittersweet because we're leaving all of this behind. So it's just a little sad.
I'm definitely sad. I'm gonna miss a lot of people that I met in this class, and like especially the mentors and Admiral. It's gonna be a big change. I don't think there'll ever be a class that will have my love like this class did.
Taking this class was the best decision I made, I think definitely in high school, probably my entire life.
Admiral would tell you, and I'd have to agree, we were a family doing this.
We had a great group of guys and gals on the team. I definitely have not collaborated so hard beforehand on something so crucial.
Aviation has always been a team sport. They might not have known what the class was about, but they got here and they've enjoyed the work, and they've enjoyed taking on leadership and being part of a team, and to develop some focus and discipline in what they do. I asked the class every day for 3 years, why not you, why not now? And they have all risen to that challenge.
It helped me with my social skills a lot, working in such a large group of people and having to go and talk to them every day.
I think that the mentors, Admiral, and my peers have all been really good for my growth. I respect them a lot. I'm very thankful for their help. I don't think that I could ask for more.
Coming out of this program, I feel much more confident in my abilities, and then also taking on a leadership role really helped the way that I think about myself and others when it comes to not only projects, but things that are bigger than myself.
We've had 31 graduates who have spent 2 years in the first flight aviation class. And I think the aircraft and the program has absolutely helped some of these young men and women grow great as they leave high school, and I think they'll go on to do some really great things.
I wanted to go into mechanical engineering originally for automotive purposes, but after this class, it's definitely taken a shift towards aerospace and aeronautical engineering. You know, I fell in love with building planes here in this class and want to continue that route.
In the correct position.
I didn't think I was going to have any future in aviation at all, and now I want to get my pilot's license and fly around the country.
It still hasn't set in that I've decided my career. I'm going into aviation mechanics. It meant a lot to me to do this plane, and I will carry it with me the rest of my life.
Being in this program and knowing how you can apply it to the real world is just important, and I believe it gives opportunities to students who know that they can do something more than just in the classroom, and gives them hope and inspiration for what their future can be.
You might think that this is for other more skilled people, but how do you think they got to that point? They did this. They did it over and over again until they got to that skill level. You can do anything. You just gotta make sure that you're there for that opportunity. You really gotta get out there. You gotta ask questions. You gotta talk to people. There is no other class that you could take that could be more interesting than this.
Right? So that's how we're gonna do it.
Admiral Tinch, one of, if not the best mentors I've had in my life. He has taught me so much, from gaining confidence in myself to being in leadership to what I should expect in the real world, how to come across it. And I think it speaks for itself through where we were at the start to where we are graduating now.
Perfect.
He's by far like the most likable guy I've ever met in my life. He just made it super easy to be able to work on the plane and enjoy his class because he's always positive and there's never really negative energy coming from him.
He's extremely supportive of everybody. He makes a great welcoming environment. He makes a great effort for us to all learn, and he makes sure that we're doing well, makes sure that we're comfortable. It's like he saw me not just as a student, but as a worker. And it was really nice to be treated like an adult, but still have the guardrails of being a student.
When I see the airplane. I think of the 31 graduates and the 5 who are coming back next year and the new ones will onboard as part of the program. I just see how successful their lives can be, and that's what means the most to me. They built the first airplane on this spot since the Wright brothers did in 1903, and that's something that they can say with pride their entire lives. I think the Wright brothers somewhere are smiling as broadly as they can right now because they would appreciate the sheer audacity of Dare County for taking this program on and for the students to make it happen. The community, Dare County Schools, the National Park Service, everyone here gave these high school students the chance to do something epic, something historic. And these classes of students embraced that challenge full on and made it happen. That's why the program is important. It shows what community support, what resilience, what a work ethic, what dedication, what teamwork can accomplish.
They worked through their challenges, leaned on each other, figured things out when it wasn't easy, and then watched something they created rise into the sky.